right now, what's your disappointment level, not just in losing that game, but also being eliminated from playoff contention?
I think my disappointment is just how everything has gone. Obviously this season, it's not what we expected. To start the year, and just again tonight, it was just obvious that the mistakes, the penalties, and just lack of execution, and all just sort of piled up on us during the game, today, and just didn't overcome it, and that to me has been the disappointment, in myself and obviously the year.
Rob, and then Paul Domowich.
Hey, Doug, how much did this game, a lot of penalties on offense, protection issues, emphasize what you've been saying all season, that it's not just the play calling and the quarterback, but rather it's a collective problem across the board?
I mean, obviously it's difficult when you have those issues, especially in the situation we're in, with the amount of, injury that has taken place with this football team, and you just can't make those mistakes and expect to win games. It's just you're just not there yet to overcome a lot of the things, and it's frustrating because it's never about one guy. And football's it takes all 11 offensively and defensively, and of course on special teams to get the job done. And yeah, you just can't. It's hard. It makes it a lot more difficult than it needs to be.
Paul, and then Jeff McLean.
Doug, I wanted to ask you about some of those penalties. You had 6 false starts in the 15th game of the season. Even with the juggling of the offensive line, is there a cadence problem there that they're having trouble with, or how does that happen?
Yeah, some of it's the different cadence, the different. Getting used to Jalen's voice, and it's something that we've coached him up to do better at is be louder. First time, obviously, the crowd noise, but that wasn't a factor today, and just timing and execution of it, and it's something that it can't happen. You might get one every couple of weeks, but to have as many as we did today, just it can't happen.
Jeff, and then John McMullen.
Doug, why did you go for it on 4th and 15 when just a drive earlier you passed up opportunities on 4th and 3, and 4th and 8?
Was the 4th and 3 the delay game?
Yes.
The 4th and 3. I had to burn a timeout because we had 12 on the field earlier in the game there in the third, and I didn't want to burn another timeout in that situation, so that backed us up and obviously took us out of that situation. And then the other ones were, we had to make something happen. We had to try to create and make a play, get us in, back into this football game, and so I elected to do that.
John, and then Tim McManus.
Hi, Doug. For whatever reason, the demarcation line in this game seemed to be when Fletcher came out. I think it was 14-3. And then kind of the wheels came off. Obviously, you had the injuries on the back end. Did not getting that type of interior rush from Fletcher, do you think that was a big impact?
Well, I think, Fletcher obviously is a big part of the D-line. And then we didn't have Josh Sweat, we didn't have Derek Barnett either up there, and those are mainstays in that defensive line to be able to put pressure on quarterbacks, and and again, it just goes to show you that it's tough in this business to play with that many new faces, so to speak, on one side of the ball, and it just it magnifies itself, and it happened to us today.
Tim, and then Mike Kay.
Hey, Doug, what did you make of Jalen Hurts' performance? Pretty strong first half, it looked like, and then cooled off in the second one. What was behind that?
Yeah, first half came out, played really well. Made some nice throws, able to run the ball there, and The second half it changed a little bit defensively on him. He was kind of battling through a little lower body tightness as well as the game went on, and I do believe it affected him a little bit. Throwing the ball late in the game, but he's a battler, he's a warrior, and he hung in there to the end. And again, it's not about the one guy. It's not about him. It's about the entire unit, and we weren't good enough coaches or players today to win the game.
Mike, and then Martin Frank.
Doug, when a player is sticking out and struggling, like Matt Pryor with penalties or Michael Jacquet with coverage, what's the conversation like on the sideline before you decide to kind of make a change and move to somebody else?
Well, the first thing is you just try to coach the player, try to get him to calm down, to try to just figure out what he's seeing and get him to relax and don't let the game be quite so fast. I mean, it just happens with young players. The game's so fast, and being able to slow it down and talk them through some things. You try to coach them up and get them prepared, and then if that doesn't work, you try to make some changes with personnel. Maybe you saw Slay come over there, and you try to do some different things, and and same way offensively, and you just try to coach the guys up and get them to slow the game down. That's you've heard that before, with young players, how fast this game can be, and that's the first thing we got to do as coaches is try to get it to slow down for them.
Martin, and then Bo Wolf.
Hey, Doug. Deshaun Jackson had the 81-yard catch, midway through the first quarter. What did you see from him on that? And also, like, he was not targeted again the rest of the game, I believe. And what was kind of going on there?
Well, obviously Deshaun's an electric player, explosive player, and that was obviously designed, shot play, and again, well executed for the touchdown. And then, I believe he got sore as the game went on. His injury got sore and sorer, and so we had to be careful there. And he just lost a little bit of that explosiveness as the game wore on. So we had to kind of keep him out as the game went.
Bo, and then Jimmy.
Doug, you said before, in looking back on the season, that you're disappointed in yourself. What do you think you could have done differently over the course of this season?
I mean, you look at decisions, you look at opportunities to put the team in better situations. All things that I will evaluate when I look back on the year. But I'm part of the solution moving forward too. And I got to look at myself and. As a leader of the football team and standing up in front of the guys, and they're disappointed. Obviously, we're all disappointed, and I can do my part to try to help them and put them in situations to be better. And that's where I'm hard on myself.
We have time for two more, so we'll go Jimmy and then Zach Berman.
Hey, Doug. Looking back at the start of the season. The Eagles were the only team in the division returning its coaching staff, and as it turned out, they're the first team in the division to be eliminated. Was that an advantage that sort of went to waste?
Listen, we had a lot of expectations going into the year. And I think key positions on the staff were back and had some moving parts on offense, obviously. But then things began to sort of slowly unravel with the injuries and different things of that nature. All things that as a sport are out of your control. What's unfortunate is where we are, and we didn't make the most of our opportunities when we had them.
Go ahead, Zach.
Hey, Doug, you said I'm part of the solution too. I know you don't make big evaluations 15 minutes after the game, but because you said that, I wanted to ask you about it. What is the solution for fixing a 4-1 team, and why do you believe you're a big part of it?
Well, as the leader of the team, it starts with me, right? And we got one more opportunity this next weekend against Washington at home, and you try to look forward to that opportunity and and then you get a chance to really evaluate and look at my performance and how well or did I lead the team. And look, I gotta, if I don't look at myself in the mirror, it's hard for me to correct anybody else. And that's what I mean when I say it starts with me, because I gotta look at myself in the mirror and make sure that I'm doing everything that I can in my power, whether it be play calls, decision makings in game, personnel in and out of the football game, whatever it might be, to help our team win.